Welcome back, everybody. We are still alive.
Mhm.
It has been a long, long time since we've done anything on Boo Page. I've been so focused on the Warren stuff that we just didn't have time to do our regular show. We're going to try and bring that back a lot more in 2024. I'm really going to try and focus on our stuff. It's I've I've done all Warren stuff lately, so it's time to get kind of focused back on what we do. Um,
I'm kind of making him because I told him I'm getting tired of not being able to do stuff. So
which it's never been to keep anybody out or anything
No.
like that.
it's just been more focused on
Yep.
that. So
But we so yeah, we do have some announcements. We put out a couple new YouTube videos, which are like I never thought that I would get. So we're at 1,100 views right now, which to a lot of YouTubers that's meaningless. That's nothing. That's people watch that in an hour on some of these channels. But the highest view count that we had until we made these two new ones was 48, and that was a video that had been up there for 2 years. So um, we really, I don't know. I'd like the video. Did you?
Mhm.
Okay.
what I didn't watch the whole thing because sometimes I don't watch the whole thing because I'm in the process of seeing it being made.
Yeah.
So a lot of times I don't always completely. Oh my
This
God.
is what we do to people that don't watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
We treat them like demons. So
Yeah.
yeah, we did learn a new trick, and that's in the second video, that this is
Yeah.
a demon fighting tool.
And he did not purchase that to prove the point. He actually owned that before he saw that. Before he saw that video with that, so it's kind of funny that we actually ended up owning something that we didn't know was helping to fight demons. We didn't take advantage of it.
I seriously laughed my ass off when I saw that in the dude's thumbnail. I was like, "You've got to be kidding me! I have one of those." So
Yeah.
that was funny. Yeah, it's so yeah. We're gonna do a lot of different kind of content. Like I said, we want to bring back the live show. I don't know if we'll do it every week or bi-weekly or whatever, but we're gonna bring back the live show. We're gonna put out some debunking videos, reaction videos, videos where we go over equipment. I've got a lot in mind. I want to really, really not go after. I shouldn't say that. That's another reason we're doing this, because we did double our followers, with those last couple videos, so we're sitting at 120 right now, I think, which is we were at 55 before. So I'm over here getting like super stoked over little numbers.
My dogs on TikTok have more videos than you, or more likes right now.
But
they're dogs. They're dogs.
And
dogs always get more.
And it's TikTok. TikTok is a different thing. It doesn't take a lot to put videos out. Whereas like that one, how many hours did I have in that Cody and Satori one? I probably had 20 at least.
I mean, you spent multiple nights working on that where I didn't even come out here to.
Yep. Because you've gotta go through, watch the videos, get screen recordings of them, and I didn't want to just pick one video, watch it, and go with that. I wanted to get multiple scenarios where they were doing this, and there's a lot more out there. There's a lot of channels like Mythos Paranormal has been on it, and he's a guy in the UK. He's got a pretty cool channel. Go check it out. It's MYTHOS. But he's got some videos where he actually shows him moving his legs. You can see his legs popping and his joints moving. So there was a lot of debunkers on that way before I was, but I felt I had a couple things to add, and I wanted to kind of compile things up for people, and make it. I'm trying to make those kind of videos kind of short, because I've sat through some long ones myself, and it's hard to sit through.
But isn't it funny how we've come along from being just paranormal investigators to then being part of Warren Foundation? Mm-hmm. Then when we became part of that, we started realizing, what are people doing? I mean, so it's kind of interesting how now we're to the point, okay, like, no, that doesn't work. So now it's kind of, we're starting to debunk some things. I mean, we don't think everything's fake, but
no,
there's things that are fake. So I mean, we want to.
And a lot of things that I don't think a lot of these YouTubers are faking. I think they're just wrong. Right. Or if their little thing lights up, they're not going to look for what made it light up. They're just, oh wow, it lit up. That's cool. It's a ghost here. So and they do it because who wants to watch a paranormal video where nothing happens? We've got a couple coming out that are going to be coming out soon. Um, One was our trip to the old mill that we did a couple years ago, and really not much happened there, but there is a side story that we can put in the video that's kind of interesting with Nevea.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a sensitive situation. It was well, I want to get permission from a family member to talk about it, and I'm sure they will because we're not doing this in any distasteful way or anything like that. And I think the family member may not know the connection that our friend Adam has.
Yeah, and because there was COVID and everything happened, and so there was some disconnect with connections that everybody was having. So hopefully, that will be something that will be able to be brought to the attention of the family, and they'll be able to get in contact and they'll get connected, and that will be. Hopefully, that will give them put them at ease a little bit.
Right. Yeah. So that would be, like I said, I don't think that we're not doing it to. I'm certainly not going to exploit anything, but it is a relevant part of the story and a relevant part of the spirits that are in that building. And that one, I would say, there's nothing bad there. I don't think
there's some grumpy people there, but nothing that's going to be out to hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
Not like when we go to Collingwood.
Yeah, exactly. Which
I don't like going there because I get hurt every time I go.
We're really, really hoping that we're going to get in there this year and do a private ghost hunt. So
that's something we're going to talk about.
Yeah, and if it does happen, we will definitely have some invites for people to join us. It is a massively huge place. We could all go by ourselves, which obviously we don't recommend, and never see each other.
Yeah.
It's just a
we've been on
building.
Public hunts and not run into people very often doing a public hunt there.
And they'll have, I think they sell like 30 spots when they do their public hunt. So
and you might come across somebody and just passing through the hallways, but that is the only time that you would get to go.
Yeah, Natalie wants to go. Natalie, I do have so that's another. I am so bad about finishing videos. Like, that is a story too that I want to tell, but it's just not done yet. We got some new camera equipment, a lot of new audio equipment. We definitely have.
Jeffrey got spoiled for Christmas.
We really got a lot of cool stuff now, and it's. I guess I'm artistic and creative and kind of a perfectionist, so I just don't want to put crap out. I want to wait till I'm happy with it. So.
That's why it takes them forever to put a video out, because it does take them some time. But hopefully with the new equipment, that will help to ease up and make it a little bit easier, because the quality is going to be much better and easier to capture more stuff, I think.
And I'm also like a self-taught video editor. So as I've edited videos throughout the last 4 or 5 years, like, I've learned a lot of stuff. And if I would have done some of these videos that I want to do 2-3 years ago, they just wouldn't have been good because I didn't know as much as I do now. So, that's someday I'll get there to where I'll be happy with stuff. Like, I was pretty happy with the last couple.
Yeah.
And it wasn't anything overly produced, but still, you get the clips, you watch them, you react to them with the video camera, because I like the quality of that camera sitting up there. I'm sure I do it the long way. These other guys just kind of screen share. They probably have their nice cameras hooked up to their computer somehow, which maybe someday I'll learn how to do that. And but it's like I said, I'm sure I do things the long way, but it's the way that I know, so it is what it is.
Now that we're in a few minutes, though, we should, because I know you want to do some introductions, because there's some people that, especially on YouTube, that do not have any clue about us.
Yep. And I wanted to start. Okay, so I'll let you tell how we started.
Okay, so randomly weird. We started this. Actually, we met. We met, started dating. Actually, our second date, somebody that we know, Harold St. John from Toledo, Ohio Ghost Hunter Society, decided that he thought we should go to a cemetery to do some research for him.
And it was like 15 degrees.
Yeah,
out.
it was really cold.
Freezing.
I remember I have like hat on, gloves on, everything. We have a picture from that night, but it was.
Hey Amber, how you doing?
That is how we met. And when we were talking before we actually met, I said something, and he was just like, "Wait, you like ghosts? I'm like, yeah, I see like shadow figures all the time, and da-da. And so we started talking. So that's how we kind of started getting the connection with the ghost hunting stuff, because he's like, I'm a ghost hunter. I'm like, really? Oh, cool, interesting. He goes, have you ever run on a ghost? I'm like, no, but it's always made me curious. So that's how we kind of started going on everything. We went to the cemetery. Didn't go where we were supposed to go in the cemetery because either.
That was my fault.
Yeah, but I think it was Harold's fault because I think he told us wrong just so we would have to spend more time together.
We should probably just blame him anyway, because
Yeah,
that's always.
it's usually Harold.
He's not in here watching, so.
But that's usually how it all goes, is Harold. So then we started. Then we started dating, and Jeff had a dog named Boo, which. Boo is Boo. People that know us know that Boo is the craziest dog you will ever meet in your life. She never will not be crazy.
She has the most personality out of any dog I've ever owned in my life. She's Boo. There's that.
Yeah. So
she still is.
Yeah. So we were just trying to figure out what we were gonna. It all started that Jeff said he wanted to start making videos. I was like, well, that's kind of cool. And I really didn't have a team that I was associated with at the time. And then I got invited to join Toledo, Ohio Ghost Hunters because I was always tagging along with Jeff, even though Jeff at the time was not a member of Toledo, Ohio Ghost Hunters. So I was invited to apply for togs, applied, was accepted. I became the researcher. As I became the researcher, then Jeff was like, well, I need something to do for the video portion. So that's how we came up with we didn't know what we were going to call it. So we were like, well, wait, what about Boo? Because Boo constantly is always in the videos, wanting to be on the TV. And so Boo ended up being Boo Productions Paranormal.
And I'm going to be honest with you, Amber, we'll answer your question here in a second, but Boo Productions Paranormal is the worst freaking name for a paranormal team on the planet. But we've already kind of branded it, so we got to go with it. And it's because I started out as Boo Productions,
yeah,
but then there was no tie to anything paranormal, so people didn't.
Yeah, so then we put, and there was also other groups called Boo Productions. So then we added the paranormal to it, and because we have an amazing graphic artist, a graphic designer, so she actually, which is my daughter, she actually came up with our design. And then now we've added, so we have the two versions of it. We have one with the dog, one without the dog. But we do actually, and we just wanted it because we do some stuff paranormal. It wasn't always just going to be production stuff. We wanted, because we wanted to do stuff paranormal-wise too. So that's why we added paranormal.
When we started it as Boo Productions, the goal was kind of to, we wanted to help people and do our own thing, but my goal at least was I wanted to go out and film people doing ghost hunts, and I still want to do that and put videos together for them and stuff, but that just really hasn't worked out. But then, like I said, it didn't have a paranormal tie to it, so people didn't know like that we were paranormal investigators.
Yeah.
Also, so that's why we changed it to Boo Productions Paranormal.
And now we added Toledo because we got hacked and somebody took over our account. So we had to add Toledo to it. So we lost everything that was tied to our original account. So now we're kind of rebuilding everything.
Mm-hmm.
But through our journey, then Jeff, between Togs and Jeff, I was introduced to Carmen Kosmeyer, who actually is a massage therapist, and she does Reiki. And so she did my first Reiki session on me.
Yeah.
And I always felt connected to her whenever we would go on ghost hunts and that. And so then it ended up her doing my first Reiki session, and found out that we are so connected. And so she knows things about me before I even know about things, which was crazy because she predicted when we were going to get engaged. She knew my son's name, which not very many, because I really never talked about him until I started doing my Reiki sessions.
Yeah.
And now I talk about him, but nobody knew his name, and she actually knew his name. So we had that part, but then I started finding out that I have abilities that I didn't realize I know. And so now that I have spooky effects in the video, and so now that I've been working on that, so my abilities have really come a long ways. So now we have kind of that whole team with it's even better now that we have the Boo Productions Paranormal, because we do investigations outside of Togs. Jerry is on our team, but Jerry and Jeff are now on Togs as well. So we kind of coincide the two, but we do keep things separate at times. It's so weird.
That was just an official, I guess, name thing because I have done everything with Togs for the last 4 or 5 years. Yeah, it's funny because Harold would call me before he would call his team members a lot of times.
Yeah.
And
well, we would be the first call. Yeah. We would be the first two we would call. At first I was just doing research, so it was no big deal. Then COVID came.
Amber wants to know where Jerry's at. I don't know where Jerry's at. He's probably at the. I don't know. Did the Browns play today for the playoffs?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know either.
So then when COVID came, we still had to. I mean, you still had to take care of people if they were having issues going on. Not very many people would do that. So it ended up during COVID. It was Harold, myself, and Jeff going to do everything. Ooh. So I would be going and helping with blessings and doing cleansings.
If she knocks that camera over, I'm gonna freak out.
And so so that's how we kind of started doing everything. We were like the first calls for Togs whenever there's Booth. You've got Togs, you got to be on TV.
She's like, I'm a ham. I got it. There's my face.
I got to be everywhere. So that's how that came on. But then Harold, of course, kept testing me, and he still tests me, but it's okay. And
hey, Smack7975, I think she's one of our newer YouTube followers. What we're doing tonight, just a quick overview. Sorry to interrupt.
It's okay.
We're just, we've got new followers lately on YouTube, and we just want to introduce ourselves and tell people what we're about, because I tend to joke a lot of times, and I hope people get that.
Yeah. Yes, he does.
I will make a dead up, straight on video like I'm filming like Twin Paranormal, and it will be a total joke. But that's my sense of humor, and people that know me will be like, "Oh man, that was a good video," because you totally mock those guys. But then people will watch that and be like, "Oh, you're a dumbass because that's how you ghost hunt."
No, and that's something too is that. Without, like I said, with COVID and everything, we got kind of where we were the two that got caught. And then I think that's when Harold kind of realized, well, wait a minute, I got her for something else, not just research. And then it came to a class. I think it was the class after Jerry. That doesn't sound like Harold. Yeah, not at all, right? Amber, one time I don't know if you ever heard the story about him testing Jeff and I when he put me in a. Yeah, I lost my voice for like a week.
I was going to beat his ass. Like I seriously was pissed at him. I was
We'll have to tell that story.
Yeah, we'll tell it. Well, we'll tell it tonight, just not now.
No. So he then I think realized it's like, wait a minute, she does do more than just the. I really started working on my my mediumship. So I've been I took a little bit of a hiatus about a year ago. Mm-hmm. Just because I was really not having I was having a lot of health issues. So I kind of blocked myself down. Plus, we were having a lot of issues with cases with Warren.
Yeah, we definitely.
We had a lot of cases that things were coming at me, and so
both of us.
Yeah, but they were coming at me, so I just completely shut myself down, just because I needed to. I just needed to get that break because I mentally and physically and emotionally I just couldn't deal with it anymore. So I just shut down. In the past few months, I've really started to get back into doing everything I need to be doing, and I actually think I went through another upgrade. So,
and that's one thing too. I think we took it a little light about the dangers of doing some of the stuff that we do, and we don't play around with stuff we shouldn't. I'm just saying, helping clients, and that's the thing too. I wanted to add is, like I said, I do like to joke and all that stuff, but I assure you, we take what we do very, very serious.
Yeah.
There's times to joke. When you go on a ghost hunt, you can joke around, you can have fun with that, some of these public places and things like that. But when we do private client cases, we don't joke at all. No. That is absolutely dead serious. And there's been, we've had some stuff thrown our way because people don't like, I don't know. We've had some dark stuff thrown at us.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, and
it's all good now, but
and we've had people come at us.
Yep, and there's some cases where, so we have done two that were highly likely demonic. In
Mhm.
fact, I would say they were, but I don't have, I guess, solid 100% proof. But those cases, like you want to talk, nothing was thrown at us, but things come at you.
Yeah. And like when you can tell when you both come at the same time and like, hey, something in the house. I mean, like literally,
Yeah,
you
there
could
was-
see, you could tell. We both would be meeting in the kitchen. He'd be up here in front and finishing up an interview. I would find out he's done with the interview. I would actually
Yep.
start coming in. We'd meet in the kitchen. It's like, did you felt that, right? And
Yeah,
it's
there
like,
were-
yeah,
There were two times where like, okay, this thing is in here and it's checking us out,
Mhm.
and it is not good. The one I actually wanted to run out the front door. I just bailed on camera. That's what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So we do take what we do absolutely serious. Jen actually has a comment too that, you know, Jen is a admin in the Warren Foundation. Mediumship alone is draining. Then
Mhm.
factor in the investigation with it, and it becomes very daunting.
Yeah.
Her and I did a case recently. Actually, we didn't officially start the case, but we had the weirdest damn call. That was
yeah. And honestly, I listened to some of it because
Yeah.
this is what happens though, and this is what's crazy because he'll be doing intakes or something, and I usually don't get involved with that because he's a regional director and
Yeah.
that's their thing. But what will happen is that I will feel so, and I have no idea what's going on with the cases, nothing, no information because I don't get it. I literally will come out here and I'll start writing stuff down. And it's like, and it's just like,
Yeah.
what the heck? Because I literally am like, no, because I get it turns on so quickly. And
that was a case where, and Jen knows this too, and I, you know, she agrees with me that this person was looking for someone to dump their crap
Yeah.
on. Like they would summon things up and they were looking for people
yeah,
to pass
and
it
I
on
mean,
to.
because I think I
It
don't,
was
I think
crazy.
I think I even Jen knew I listened
Yeah,
in on
that
that one
was-
because I even said something. It was like, this is
That was the oddest video call I've ever done.
It was.
Boom.
And like I said, I normally don't interfere, but that one just was like, I even was like, don't take this case. Don't even get involved.
Jen was like, cut the cord.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to take it anyway. And which actually kind of goes against what we stand for with the Warrens is, you know, we help everybody all the time. But if their intent is evil to dump their crap on us, I'm not doing it. And luckily I just said, he ended up saying like he knew what it was. He knew he wasn't looking for help. So I said, okay, well, there's my out. So I just dropped that.
Yeah.
Recording
And
started.
so that does.
Hey Mark, how you doing? What the hell are you doing up, dude? This is Mark Lindsay from PSI Paranormal. He is from the UK.
Oh wow.
And it's
It's
12:24 over there.
I was gonna say it's late because I know it's almost like not in Korea. It's like what 9, almost 8 a.m.
They're 13 hours ahead.
I think so.
Yeah.
So it's like 8 a.m. there. Weird how we know our stuff by the places my child lives, as we know the different time zones. So I know it's 13 there. Then I know it's Germany's 8 hours ahead of us because we have Sina lives in Germany. So.
Mark is another one too. So like I said, I've really been getting into a lot of debunkers lately, and Mark was kind of the first one that I saw, and it's really I've really questioned a lot in the last 2 or 3 months. A lot of the EVPs that I've gotten, you know, so now I've done some studying and watching videos on recorders and how they work and this and that and the other thing. It's like, I don't know if some of that stuff is actually EVPs. Kenny Biddle is another guy that puts out, go check his page out. There's he does very, very detailed research and reenactments and debunks of the equipment. There's actually one thing that I watched, and I know I tried to get Chris and Joe from the Warren Files to watch this, but they won't because Kenny Biddle does not like the Warrens. Like he thinks they're charlatans. He just doesn't like them, and that's his opinion. I disagree with that. But we can't, when he lays out a case against one of the photos that they've always said was paranormal, we have to take that for what it's worth. We have to separate what his opinion is on the Warrens, because I don't agree with it. But what he's saying about the photo is like, I'm convinced that they're just not legit. And I don't think it was anything faked. I think it was just the Warrens were wrong.
Yeah.
So I mean, but go check Kenny Biddle out because that is some good stuff. Go check PSI Paranormal stuff out. Mark debunks things all the time. Beardo, Parple. You saw a little bit of Parple
Yeah, I'm
today for the
laughing
first
because
time.
he's like, you gotta watch this stuff. And I'm like one that after being with like the Warren Foundation and that like ghost, like Jen was saying to ghost shows are not, or maybe it was Amber, ghost shows are just not the
I
same.
can't watch them anymore.
I don't like watching them anymore. It's very, it irritates me, especially because you know a lot of people do get taken advantage of, and so that really bugs me. So I just don't like watching them. So even when they're like these, like take no, I do kind of like. Although okay, this is my newest thing that I do like watching because it is kind of funny, and I'm not making fun of them because I have.
What are you doing?
I had tons of friends that are Arabic, but to watch the Arabic ghost hunters cracks me up.
Stop.
And it's just because I guess I know their beliefs so well of the paranormal.
Yeah, type it on TikTok.
Like, it just I yeah. I
go to TikTok and type in Arabs find jinn or Arabs ghost hunting or something like that. You will. It's the funniest shit in the world.
You'll see the strings and the cords.
And there's always people dressed up like they're a spirit, and then the people go after them and karate kick them and stuff. And you are stuck, aren't you?
Who's being stuck? She's being something else.
God, I wish I could show you where she's at. She's like in a position to where
she can't get out.
Okay, I'm gonna have to move for a minute. I think.
She can't. Her butt's so big she can't back out of where she's at. So now she has nowhere to go.
I gotta go forward.
There you go.
Let's raise this
up.
Of
course, all the cords. There you go. Good girl. And here comes Bubba now.
This is a very professional show we're conducting here. So.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know how we got led off to whatever we were talking about. But that's sometimes how these shows go, and because this is the introduction, just kind of getting to know us, kind of thing.
Yeah, but it's. I like I said, I've really learned a lot in the last couple of years working with the Warren Foundation on the private side of things, because that's a completely different animal than investigating at public places or investigating just for your own reasons. You know, when you've got people telling you that their kids are getting scratched or they're getting scratched and they send you pictures, and you don't always. And I know some of them get frustrated because I always try to look for non-paranormal first. And some of these people just insist this is paranormal. I don't know why you can't see it. You're an idiot. Or if you debunk one of their photos, they'll say, well, check this one out. It's like they're looking for confirmation. And I'm not saying that they don't have a haunting situation going on. They just haven't caught it on video or camera or audio, because I have to be honest. I'm not going to sit there and, like in the AA world, I've got some family members that were in AA. They're looking for a cosigner for their bullshit. That was a big phrase in AA. What's Mark got to say? Yeah, fakers give the paranormal field of research a bad name, which is why we expose them. And that's why they do what they do. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you guys aren't watching some of these YouTube channels, like over in the UK, there's one, I think it's called Really Haunted. This guy, go watch it. Smug Puppy is another one. Mark's best buddy his name is Smug Puppy. What's
the name?
These videos are, and the fact that, and these people have hundreds of thousands of subscribers and followers. Like, it's just, it's amazing to me. And I'm excited about 120. And this dumbass is faking things like crazy.
Yeah.
And he's got, almost 1 million. He may have 1 million. I don't know.
Yeah.
So Amber wants to know this.
How did I get into research? Well, Harold kind of got me into the research for paranormal stuff, but I've always been a huge into history and historical things and finding out about stuff. So that part came really easy to me. Then I think I don't remember what my first thing I ever researched for Harold, but I got into so many different rabbit holes that I was just like, okay,
was it Spaghetti Warehouse?
No, I think it actually was North Ridgeville.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And there was so many rabbit holes that I came up with that it all started, and it actually, everything started, if it wasn't there, I don't remember what it was, but everything I did, it all started linking back to the same family. Like everything I got, even though it was like, it would be a son-in-law guy, it was like a son-in-law's brother, and so, but it all linked back to the same family. So I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. But then, okay, and this is kind of morbid. I was an EMT, and I kind of death stuff. Kind of, I was always intrigued by like people dying in that. Obviously, I mean, I grant you I was saving lives, but
That's why I sleep with one eye open.
yeah, right. So I mean, that was something that always intrigued me, is the death part of it. So obviously, that part of the research of finding out about people, how they died, what they died, it does help having the medical background when you're doing research on people, because you kind of know what drugs to look for, you know what signs and symptoms of a certain disorders, or if there's other issues or problems going on. So that all kind of started me into the research part of it. But then I was just not only doing that, I was researching the properties. That's interesting enough. When you research properties, you sometimes find out things you don't want to know about properties, which that happened one time too. So it was like, oh, okay. But that's, I mean, Harold pretty much got me set on the research. I'm doing it more for paranormal investigations, doing like the public research, and then really starting to research people, like, because I don't right now. This is weird. I used to be super big into social media. Since I've been hacked, I've been very low key on it compared to what I used to be. But I mean, I used to, I'd go snooping and finding as much as I could on people on Facebook. I was going every which way I could. Oh, there's here.
Oh
He
shit!
knew we were
we
talking
gotta rein
about
it in
him.
now. We gotta be careful.
And so I ended up, that's how I really started finding out a lot, was just doing all the snooping between everything. So that is how I got into more of the research. And like I said, then, I mean, I still will do some research if need be. But I tend to not do so much research. I do more of the mediumship now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and you know, since Harold is in here now, I always got to give Harold props because he definitely. So I took Harold's class, I think 6, 7, 8 years ago. I forgot when the hell it was, but I took his class, and sitting in his class, and I was like, okay, if I'm gonna do this, because I was interested in the paranormal stuff, but if I'm gonna do this, I want to do it with this team because these guys are top notch. They know what they're doing.
But you weren't a member for how long? You just kept getting invited.
I think me and Harold have a weird thing with the membership. It's been talked about for like 3 years, 4 years, probably longer.
But just remember, if anything happens, you can no longer be a member of Tulloch's.
That's
if
right.
something happens between me and you.
Yeah,
that's kind of an inside joke with us. Yeah. And Harold.
Yep. But I mean, yeah, I nothing but mad respect for the guy. And like I said, I took the class. I was like, I want to do this with these guys, and it took a few steps to get there. But Harold and I have been close since that class.
So it's been at least 5 years.
It's been longer than that.
I know, at least 5 years, because we've known each other 5 years.
But it's been and like I said, him and I, we do everything together pretty much. So.
And that's kind of how I learned some of my the techniques of ghost hunting, was sitting and just taking pictures for the class one time. That's how I started getting into the class. And then I think 2 classes later, I presented, was my first time I presented in class. So.
Yeah, we helped them with their class, and I didn't get through mine this time, which that sucked, but it is what it is.
My presentation this year was not my best, but I was not feeling well. Like the whole month of October,
we've been sick
September,
since Halloween.
and October. Well, before in September I got sick. So September, October, November, and December have not been.
Jesus, what is up with you UK people? Are you guys freaking vampires or what? So this another good friend of ours, Lana from the UK. Lana, it is 12:36 there. Go to bed. I don't know why you're still up. Crazy.
I do have to start. See, I need to start talking to these guys that we know from the UK, though, so that we can start getting ideas, because we are starting to plan our trip to the UK.
Yep.
We're going to be spending time for sure in Germany, and we know we want to go see Lana, but we have to have some stuff in between. I know we're going probably, because my daughter will want to go to Normandy, so we probably will be going to Normandy for sure. And my other daughter might be actually working in having a conference in Poland at the same time we're there. So we might. I know it's like we might be going to Poland. So it's like we don't know yet, but we have
You're
to.
a vampire.
And
I'm just kidding, Lana.
so I'm going to be starting to do all that stuff.
Yeah, Lana's the director for the UK for the foundation. So yeah, Lana and I have become very, very close over the last. It's funny, and I'm not going to tell the story because we swore we would never talk about it again. But the first time I ever talked to Lana, me and Stephanie Algady had a meeting with her, and I forgot to hit stop on the recording. I posted the recording into a group. She saw a couple things that we said and called me out on it. It's hilarious. So. Oh, Harold wants to go Bigfoot hunting. I don't know where Dana went. What was Boo doing?
What do you think she was doing?
Eating my underwear again?
No, she's getting in the garbage.
Yeah.
So I had to put it up.
Yeah, Boo doesn't like it when we do these shows. She always has to act up. So, but yeah, Amber asked earlier, 2024, what are we going to do? We've got a.
So.
We definitely want to do some more public ghost hunts.
Yes, we're working on 2 locations. We've been to both locations. One is Old Mill, obviously, because we do like taking smaller groups, just because we kind of are familiar with what can happen there. And we have some people that don't want anything like scary or something, and it's a safe place. So we are doing that one just because we want to set up that, and then we want to try to do Collingwood. That's a little bit more for our friends that are a little bit more on the let's get something spooky, scary going on.
Because there's dark stuff at Collingwood.
Yeah.
I could tell you story after story, but there's definitely bad.
Those are 2 for sure that we really want to work on. But then I started looking at a couple other ones. It's kind of hard because with us going to Europe this year, it's kind of keeping us where because we don't know the definite date of us going yet, just for the fact that we might have to take a dog with us.
A horse.
Yeah, she's more like a horse than a dog, but we might have to help get her shipped over there. So it's kind of.
Yeah, now she's got to go potty.
Yeah, so we're trying to work on that. Then we are going to be doing some conferences this year. So far, we have 1 booked for sure. And let me go let her out, and I'll be right back, and we can go over some of the stuff for that.
But also too, on the video side of things, like I said, there's definitely some stories I'm doing this year because I'm tired of sitting on this stuff and not doing it. I've got like 9 terabytes worth of videos that I filmed since I started doing this. Yes, Carmen, we both want to do Collingwood. And yeah, Collingwood, it's a bad place. But like I said, so we're gonna focus. We definitely want to focus more on YouTube. And it's not. I'm not this like egomaniac that I have to have subs and views and things like that. It's just when you do something like that, you want people to watch it. And my goal is I hope people learn a little bit, or at least if nothing else, enjoy it, because there's so much cookie cutter crap out there that I'm trying to find ways to do things a little different. But so like I said, we're going to do some reaction stuff, debunking stuff. We're going to go over a lot of equipment this year. I've got a couple. So I was kind of tipped off about some of these more inexpensive recorders and how they operate and why people catch EVPs on them, especially the Sony DR60. I watched a Kenny Biddle video, and the Crow. He's another debunker. Check his channel out. Or wait, what is it? Crow Judas. That's what it is. Jesus. But he goes by Crow. So, but they did a very, very good talk about the Sony DR60 and why people are catching EVPs on these. And if you watch the ghost shows, that's all they use, because they are so prone to, they put this noise in them and they sound like voices. Then you get audio pareidolia going on. And then they put the words on the screen and you can't unhear what they say it says. So we're going to do a lot of stuff like that. The Spirit Talker app. That's another one. We played this. I wish I was filming. Was it Christmas Day?
No, it was.
Or New Year's Eve?
It was Christmas. Was it Christmas?
It was a morning thing. It was a brunch thing.
Brunch. Right. We were doing New Year's Eve brunch.
So I ran the
That's when it started.
Yeah, so I ran the Spirit Talker app just to show, like, okay, let's see what this thing says while we're conversing. And as we were all sitting around eating brunch, watching the Spirit Talker app, which doesn't shut up, say all this stuff, people were coming to conclusions and drawing things on how it was relevant what was coming up on the screen, even though it was like there's nothing paranormal going on in this house right now.
No.
But the Spirit Talker app put things in people's heads, and it ends up driving investigations. It ends up like, so whatever it comes up, it's your next question is going to be related to whatever that was.
Yeah.
Father Ken is here. Hey Ken, how you doing? He's from California, so it's still early there. But yeah, so we're going to go over things like that. I want to do some recorder experiments. We've got some story type situations we're going to tell this year with some of the places that we've gone to.
Okay, and so back to the convention. Because we did our first vendor spot at the old mill back in November.
Yep.
And so that went off really well. So we decided that, okay, we're going to...
Oh, shit. Ken's got COVID. Sorry
to
hear that, buddy.
Been there, done that. I still haven't gotten my
my
smell and taste 100% back yet. So I hope you feel better on that one. So we're going to actually do the Midwest Parafest 5, which we have always gone with Togs with, but this year we actually have gotten our own vendor table. And we have several things that we're selling. We're going to have a display of our items that we've collected so people can see our items and our added new items that we've gotten or Jeff has gotten. I only have mine. I don't even know where mine is, my new item.
Yeah, we got a custom Boo Production Ouija board.
It's our business card.
That isn't a Ouija board. It is official that I am the Green Swamp Medium.
Yep. He even has a little basket with fortune cookies.
Yep.
And so with that, we actually will be selling, and this is something that I just did on Boo Productions Paranormal Toledo, asked what kind of things you would like to see, because I'm still trying to get some ideas. And then one thing, because we might end up opening an Etsy shop, just depending on how things go. But at that convention, we are going to have the blessing boxes. We actually did sell those at Old Mill, and people liked them.
It was a religious type.
Yeah, we did a religious one, and then more of a Native American one, and I had some other ones. Mm-hmm. So we're actually going to be putting those together. So we'll have those. We'll have tons. I found some great different bundles of sage for cleansings. So we'll do. Hold on, multiple
Is she getting the crap again?
She's at the door to come in.
Oh, okay. So another thing, Amber, we definitely took your suggestion, and I think we are going to put maybe a backpack together, like a basic paranormal investigator kit with forms, all that stuff, some flashlights, and we got. I was just telling them we're probably going to take Amber's suggestion.
Yes. That
was a good idea.
I actually have that one pretty much already ordered. There will be two different versions of it, but we will have now. It will be ghost hunting pack or ghost hunting bags that are for like beginners, or someone that just wants to have
Not
some.
Not even necessarily beginners, because our questionnaire is pretty good.
Yeah, but I'm just saying for someone that's getting into just the ghost hunting and wants, so we'll have that, but it will have like a couple. I'll have maybe more than two versions of it, but for sure two versions, because I ordered this stuff for those. We'll have some of the crystals, some jewelry, and then I do have one thing that my sister and I are working on right now. Live plants, air plants. I know some people like air plants. And so we're going to do some things with some air plants, but then also
back up.
The moss balls. They're actually, I don't know if it's not something that's real popular yet, but it's called a pet. It's like a pet moss ball for people, and it just basically is a moss ball that sits in water. So those are. Hey, I know it's kind of weird, but I don't want to give too much away because I want people to be able to see it at the convention, and then we'll probably start going from there. Pretty much if you saw us at Old Mill, everything we had at O'Neill will geodes too. Break your own geodes. That was something that everybody liked, so I'm probably gonna bring that one back too. So
yes, I mean, it's like I said, we're not, cheaply trying to gain followers or anything
No.
like that. We really do want to, offer people what they want or what they need. Um, we also like, just education stuff. There's so much.
Yeah.
Like if you guys are watching these YouTubers and thinking that's how paranormal investigation goes, it's just not. Like, you'll watch, say, Twin Paranormal or Sam and Colby. They have more happen in one night than what I've ever happened, in say 20 home investigations. Like,
yeah.
it doesn't work the way that these YouTubers say it does. But if there's nothing to watch, nobody watches, so that's how they get there. And make no mistake, these people are making millions doing this.
Yeah.
They are. I talked to a guy in the UK that Sam and Colby were over there. They were throwing around sick amounts of money to get into lectures, or not lectures, into locations. They were throwing stupid money on
this
it.
is going to be our funny portion. You have to put up Mark's question
Yeah, Mark
because
wants to
I
get rid of
have an
skinwalkers.
answer for this, but I just want to make sure everybody sees the question first. I bet if I took a naked picture of him, I bet that skinwalker would go away.
It probably would.
That's being our fun part of it.
My rule. So we did have a skinwalker situation come up with a client, and basically, like, the way to combat it is, if you see one, no, you didn't. You don't. It's such a popular haunting right now. It's like all these YouTubers. We encountered a skinwalker. No, you didn't. I guarantee you didn't. They're as rare, if not more rare, than demons, and they're not going to be hanging out in New York City.
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't work that way. So, but so to answer Mark, I guess we don't have anything to get rid of skinwalkers.
At least not at the moment.
Well, no, I take it back.
Oh yeah, there you go.
I believe skinwalkers are evil. Therefore, the salt gun will work. If not, we can try the holy water super soaker.
Yeah.
I think that's coming next.
That's coming next. The holy water super
soaker.
Soaker.
Can I watch them? They're horrible. Check out some of the debunkers, and they really like to go after Mindseed because it's so bad. And they actually do fake things, and it's proven by a lot of the debunkers. But Mindseed is horrible. There's so many bad channels out there.
Yeah.
So
should we tell because I know we're getting close to an hour. Should we tell the story that we were referring to earlier?
Yeah, just don't put the name in it. But yeah, there was.
Well, because Harold's not here anymore.
I'll start by telling the backstory.
Yes.
So there was a house here in Toledo where a guy killed himself, but he didn't just. It wasn't just a simple one shot.
It was bad.
Unaliving. It was. I gotta watch what I say on YouTube. The guy thought that, and he had drug issues in the past, and he had recently come to Christ, and but he was one of those, like, well, the Lord didn't come back today, so I guess we got to go through another day. He was very kind of negative about it, and this and that and the other thing. So, but he was committing sexual sins, so he ended up cutting something off to stop that.
Yeah.
That was step number one.
Didn't work.
Yep, didn't work. So he's wandering all over this house, bleeding everywhere. He goes upstairs. He gets. I'm afraid of what I'm allowed to say on YouTube because I don't want to get this banned. But so he goes upstairs and gets one of his pew-pews. Goes in the bathroom, uses it, and that didn't work. It messed him up really, really bad, but it didn't work. It didn't finish it. So he crawls from the bathroom, which, like, I mean, it was a bad scene. So he goes from the bathroom into the bedroom, somehow gets up to the top shelf of his closet, grabs another pew, and sits up against the wall, and that was actually the final shot. But so a very, very bad story. And this guy was saying that, demons were telling him to do this stuff. Like, he used to do Ouija boards and stuff on the property and things like that. So anyway, this other couple then moves in, and they start having weird stuff happen, and they want the house blessed.
So we go in, do an investigation. Pretty much all of us, and without knowing where anything was until after, we all got the same vibes in the same room, everything. So Harold takes it upon himself to say, well, let's go out to the garage because that's where his car is.
Yeah, so the car that was the original owner that did all that stuff came with the house.
Yes.
So it was given to the people
So
that moved
the
in.
car was in the garage. So Harold wanted to go out there. So I believe it was myself, Uncle Jeff, Harold, and Dan. And we all went out there. This is my first time kind of like actually, this was the first time I was an actual investigator with Tokes.
Yeah.
And so Harold was testing me. And so he had me go in there. And so we opened the door. And it was like, it just wasn't, you just got a really bad vibe going into the garage. We open the doors and it doesn't smell too good, but it's not bad. So Harold says, Dana, get in the car and look around and see what you can find. I'm like, no. And he goes, just get in there. I put one knee on the seat, and the smell from this car was between
it smelled
alcohol,
like
weed, gas, death.
It was so bad.
You name it, it smelled it. And it was so bad. Now, mind you, I was an EMT. I've smelled some nasty stuff. This was beyond what I could control. I start heaving. I'm like, and I'm trying, and Harold is just sitting there in his that little evil laugh he has. And I'm like trying to do this. I'm like, okay. And he's like, no, come on, you got to finish. I'm trying. I can't. I finally have to step out, and I'm throwing up like crazy. And so I
was laughing because him and Uncle Jeff were doing the same thing.
Yeah, and they were doing the same thing. So it's like, and I mean, they're laughing at me, but I mean, I'm just like, nothing. I'm just like, cannot stomach this at all. So then I had to walk around outside. Uncle Jeff walked around with me just to get me calmed down, to make sure I could finally breathe again and not throw up. So we go back in the house, and then Jeff and Carmen were going into the garage next. So Harold's like, Dana, go ask Jeff if I have some batteries. I'm like, or if he has these batteries. And so I go out there, I'm walking out there, I'm like right outside the door, and I start heaving again. And I can't stop this time. Like literally, I can't stop because it's that bad. And Jeff's like freaking out because I'm like, I was like, Harold made me come out here and I didn't want to. And I was so mad. And then I lost my voice and had a sore throat for probably a month afterwards because I was heaving so bad from that. And Harold I remember when we were pulling out, he was still laughing. And I'm like, it was not funny because I just could not, the smell was so bad.
But see, Harold's the type of guy that like, he will absolutely test you, but he is going to watch the entire time. And
to make sure you're okay.
Yeah, he's not going to.
And I don't think he realized that I was going to have a sore throat for as long as I did, that I literally couldn't talk for a week afterwards. I had no voice at all. And then it took me a whole month before I was completely over it. But yeah, so that is how Harold tests me very often. And it's kind of funny because I think I'm on our Tobes team, I'm probably one of the only females that I will tell him how it is, and he actually won't. Like, he'll be like, oh, okay.
Carmen remembers that. That was a crazy night.
Yeah, oh, that.
Yep. But I mean, so there was, like, they didn't clean the scene up very well. You could definitely see remnants of what had happened in the house.
Yeah.
It was coming through the paint.
Yeah.
Spots all over the floor. The final strike, that wall was a mess under the paint. Like, it was not good.
Yeah,
so,
it was.
And there's more to the story, but I'm not going to talk about it. Can't. So. Yeah, that was a crazy night.
So that's how Harold won my first test of Harold.
And I wanted to beat his ass so bad because I thought he put her in a dangerous situation. And then I'm like, I was so mad. But then I heard the whole story. It's like, okay. It's all good.
Yeah. So
Yep.
we learned Dana does not always do well with unusual things with smells.
And I'm sitting in this car doing an EVP session because he sent me in there after that. And
yeah,
I'm
and
like,
I'm like,
who's here with us? I'm just,
I'm like, it was just so,
bad.
and it wasn't so
You
bad
could
until,
taste it.
but it wasn't so bad until you sat on the
Yeah.
seat or put any pressure on that seat, and then it was just like,
It was like weed, alcohol, gas, death. It was so bad.
Yeah, it was.
But I mean, that's the stuff you run into though in residential.
Yeah, we've
places.
had some crazy stuff happen at residentials.
Yeah. Yep.
And people tell us that we're crazy, and it's like, nope.
Yep. So,
nope, not at
but
all.
like I said, I guess to wrap this up, you're going to see some goofy content this year. You're going to see some hard content that a lot of people may get upset with, but I gotta call the truth as I see it. So we're going to do that. But just keep this in mind that we take what we do very, very serious. We may not always portray that on YouTube because I think a lot of paranormal investigators, at least here in Toledo, take themselves way too serious. Like,
and
it's dumb.
We do the ghost hunting to have fun. The paranormal investigations is when we're helping people,
and you'll never see those because we'll never put that on YouTube.
And so the fun stuff we're going to put, like even doing the old mill, putting that on there. Even when we go on our public, we'll put some of the stuff on there because there's some stuff sometimes that happens that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
So we probably maybe should do a bloopers.
Oh God.
That would be almost all Harold, but
that would probably be, we could do a mini series on that.
Yeah.
Actually, a full blown series probably on bloopers. But
yeah. Pretty much all Harold.
A lot of it is Harold.
A lot of it's Harold.
Yeah. And I always sandbag him even at class when we do it. Yeah, I'll always put a blooper of Harold at the end of his videos. And he's like, God, why do you do that?
See, that's part of the thing. You have us make videos, you're going to get the bloopers.
Yep.
And even in our presentations, there's always a blooper of Jeff, or Jeff puts a blooper of Harold. And it all started because when he did my first, it all kind of started when Jeff put my first presentation together for me, my music and that for me. He actually threw in a blooper of Harold.
Yeah.
Just because he wouldn't expect it in that one. And because at the time my name wasn't Schlachter, so we could get away with it a little bit better. Yeah. And now he just knows he's going to get it whenever, because he knows Jeff puts my videos together for me. So, part of my presentations.
Yeah, but Harold, Harold used to be like, I want to say maybe a very strong dictator when it came to paranormal investigations. He was very regimented. You didn't screw up. You didn't do this. But it's a little bit different now. He's. Yeah. I guarantee the things that I've said to him, he would have fired me if I was on his team. Glad to see more paranormal investigators calling out the fakers. Yeah, I mean the fakers are a big problem, and it's people say, what difference is it to you? If they fake stuff? The problem is there are channels that will actually you can subscribe to and give them money every month, and there's Beardo did a few stories about people they subscribe to these channels because it was giving them hope that their loved one that just passed away was still around and they could communicate.
And that's the problem.
Right.
Those fake, no matter what they're faking, they're making it so paranormal investigators that actually want to help them can't, because they think that they won't come to those people because they think that they're going to have to pay, or they think that they're going to be told the same stuff, and it's not. And that's not true.
If you let's say for example, if you buy a K2 meter and you set it out in your living room and you think you're talking to your loved one that you passed away maybe a month ago, you're not. There are so many things that can make those things go off, but you don't see that on a lot of these YouTube channels. Yeah. And they make it sound like, man, this is concrete evidence that I'm talking to this spirit.
That was one of our first debunking early on.
Yeah.
We took a doll.
Yeah, we created a haunted doll.
We created a haunted doll.
I could have sold that damn thing for $250.
I know, right? We put it in my mom's basement, and I was sitting out of range of camera with my cell phone, making the meter go off.
And I had my cell phone sitting behind the doll. We even caught an EVP because where we had actually caught a couple, because where we had the doll was sitting right next to the clothes chute,
Mm-hmm.
and they were talking upstairs
Down the hallway, and it echoed
and
through
it
and
came through the
down.
closed chute, and it's like it sounded
It's
like
like an
fake
EVP.
or faint EVPs.
And then, ironically, there is something that lives down in. Well, there is someone that stays down in that basement. Um, he's tied to the property, but he never is vocal, so it couldn't have been him.
Yeah.
Doing the EVP. Plus, then when we kept playing it back, I
realized what it was. I was picking voices.
Yeah, we were picking up the voices of them talking.
Yep.
Because then you could, that's Rick, that's Lisa, and then you could start telling who it was.
Yeah, we could have put that doll on YouTube or on Facebook and sold it for $200.
Yeah.
Because the more haunted, the more they sell.
Now, mind you,
Especially
I have a
demonic.
doll, and everybody thinks she's haunted, and that's why I bought her. She is not haunted, but she is.
It's right behind you if you want to show it.
She's just a creepy doll, and I will say, Ace got me turned on to creepy dolls now.
Yeah, so. Ace is a guy that we met him at the mill, right?
Yep.
Yeah, he was a good dude. It turns out we had a mutual friend.
So this is my first creepy doll.
Yep. And it is creepy.
Yeah, she is kind of creepy, but she's my first creepy doll, so we'll get more eventually. The one doll I want is very creepy, but it was sold at the time I was buying dolls, so.
Yeah, and I tried to find it for Christmas, but couldn't, so because it sold out again. But yeah, this Don makes a very, very good point. I just showed it. Misusing and not knowing how the equipment works is a very bad thing. Buy equipment that does what it's supposed to do, like a FLIR camera. It is a thermal imaging camera. It's not tweaked by a ghost hunting shop to pick up ghosts. It's a thermal imaging camera. It does what it's designed to do. An EMF meter with a numeric readout. It does what it's designed to do. It doesn't just light up,
Okay.
So we're going to go over a lot of that stuff this year. I don't know. Do you got anything to add or?
I don't think so. I mean, we said we're going to know where we're going to be. I'm going to try to get a little bit more active in putting stuff on Boo Productions, because I actually go on there more than I do my own page right now. Like I said, I really, since last year getting hacked, I really have not done anything social media wise.
But too, if you're not following our YouTube channel, please subscribe and follow, get notifications. I hate saying that, but you have to.
The cat toy. That's funny because I actually, when we were in Virginia, is the first time I had ever seen the cat balls. And it's ironically weird because at first I'm like, there might be something to these, but then I'm like, I don't know, because every time the ones that the group I was with, nobody was around them. But as soon as I would get so far from them, they would light up, and then I'd get on top of them and they'd stay lit. And then after I'd get so far past them, and then I start, wait a minute, I had my phone in my pocket and it was turned on. So I'm like, well, there we go. So at first I was kind of like, but then I started realizing, wait a minute, nope. But yeah, there's just like the salt gun. Yeah.
No, the salt gun works. Don't even diss the salt gun. That is absolutely going to be taken.
The kids got him that, not knowing that it was actually going to come
innovative.
From our ghost hunting.
The Green Swamp Medium has always been about innovation and innovative tools. And I had that before I even knew what I had. But yeah, so that's what we're going to do in 2024. And like I said too, follow us on YouTube, because we're gonna do a lot more there than we do on Facebook. As far as like lives and videos and things like that, we'll always share it to our Facebook page.
And I'll try to like remind everybody that, hey, we're going to have some stuff on YouTube. I know Jeff tries to do it as well. We're hoping here in the next few weeks we'll have some things calm down and we'll be able to get where we can get on a great schedule of like, even like I said, we might not be weekly like we were for a while. It might not be it might be here and there, but not a set schedule. Just with our schedules, it's hard sometimes to do.
I'm just gonna tease this. I'm really gonna try and get. We met John Zaffis at the old mill, and him and I, like, I'm not gonna say we're best buds or anything crazy like that, but I mean, we generally liked each other.
Yeah, he was fun.
Yep. So we might try and get him to come on. Ray, the Goose.
Yeah.
We should have him on. I mean,
Yeah, he was fun. He
he's a
was
cool
fun.
guy. He's a
He
cool
helped
guy.
me because this came
Yeah.
off from the old mill because I actually we were emailing at the old mill back and forth about getting this made. And I told him, I said, if he asks you anything about this, you can't have. It's going to take a long time to make one
Because yeah, I was going to ask him.
Yeah, because we were already
like,
in the making of getting it made for him. So I was like, if he asks you about it, just you won't be able to make one for a while because you got a lot going on.
That was almost like the nun painting. Like when I saw his boards, I'm like, shit, I gotta have one of those.
Yeah.
So
and
I don't get that way at these paranormal conventions. I don't go there and like
no,
I have to buy that.
Well, there was another picture at Old Mill we wanted.
Yeah,
it was a nun picture. But we want if she will eventually sell the original, we want the original. So we're hoping that we might be able to eventually get the original for that as well.
Yep.
It was a pencil.
It was good
charcoal drawing. Yeah, it was really cool. Yep. Kind of matched it, kind of similar to the one we already have. So, but Jeff, he's gotten surprised by a lot of different stuff that he can show off now at when we go to conventions. And
I got the Robert the Doll.
Yep, Robert the Doll now. He's got and then of course now his new equipment that not everybody
like
always
said,
gets to see.
Yeah, you won't see it. You'll see the results of it because our production, the appearance of our videos are going to be way better. I mean, right now we're just using a regular webcam, but I want to try and set up the good camera that we got.
Yeah, well, we have a lot of stuff going on at the house right now because
my van
from
is
when
broke.
From the tornadoes, they are just now doing our siding on our house from our tornado that hit our house hit our area last June. So our roof was done, but now we're finally getting the siding on. So once that's all done, then we have a few more things we have to finish around the house. But this area might come a little bit more spacious.
Yeah, we are cramped in here so bad it's not even funny. But
it's not as bad as what is now my office.
Yeah, we started out in there. It was worse there. Like we had to crawl over each other just to get in the seats and stay. It was
And here, though, if we open the curtains, you get a nice backdrop. But right now, our neighbors have some crazy lights from Holiday. I don't know if they have them on right now.
Oh yeah, they're on.
Oh, I don't know if you can see them. We open here.
All you can really see is the reflection.
I was like, the lights back there.
Their Christmas lights are why you should not do drugs and then put Christmas lights up. We probably got to be careful what we say. I know they'll never watch it.
No, but the lights over there. Well, these are also the people that put lights on their pool, around their pool, and it looked like it was UFOs at one point. So
these people are definitely the self-taught artists, maybe. Like they think they're very artistic, and it's
I don't know,
chaotic art, I guess.
Yeah,
would be a good description.
Yeah, they probably think that we copied their house. At this point, we laugh because they probably think we copied their house with the coloring of our siding, but our siding is 2 different colors.
Yeah, we picked it out way before they started.
We picked it out we picked ours out like we picked our siding color out 2 months before the tornadoes hit because we were going to be doing this, and then the tornadoes just helped us out, and the insurance covered the siding. But we had already picked out what color we were doing, and so but we've noticed them driving around slowly looking at our house as it's been getting done because we only have part of our front is done, and then just now the side and the back they've got to finish the other side. So they've been slowly going around looking at our house, and it's like that big red dumpster in the front.
Oh yeah, which sucks. Well, I'm not even going to go into that. But anyway, so that's what we're doing in 2024. We will keep everybody informed. Thank you, new people that joined. I saw a couple of them. Like I said, I'm just stoked about.
Just stay off their grass. Oh yeah, let me tell you. I'm surprised they actually have been putting some things in their yard and they haven't said anything.
And I warned them. I said, do not step on their property. They will
rip you one. We know how that goes.
We almost had a 4th of July brawl over here because of, well, let's just be honest, Harold.
Yeah.
But it really wasn't his fault. It was just it's a long story.
And which wasn't they weren't even on their property because there's a 10-foot 10 foot in is still considered our township property, so they weren't really on their property. So but
anyway, we should probably wrap it up.
Yep.
But that's what we're doing in 2024. Thank you all for watching. Again, just if you don't mind, share the video stuff. It's like I said, I'm not this big like I need viewers. But it is cool to see that something you made, people are watching and enjoying.
And if you have ideas of something, or you
Yeah,
say,
if you want to see
"Hey,
something,
did
check
you
out this
hear it? Or
equipment.
did you see this? Did you hear it? Did you see what they're doing?" I mean, so we can look at it and be like, "Yeah, no." Or if there's things that you think that might be something that you don't see readily at like conventions, and you want to see
Yeah.
it, and we might be able to come up with it, let us know, because like I said, we got some cool stuff for this convention. Stickers too, like the water bottle stickers and the cups for the straws, the covers for the straws. Got that stuff too.
Yep.
So we got all kinds of different odd stuff that you normally don't see. So.
Yep. And it's, I don't know. It's fun to make a couple bucks doing it, but we're definitely not making money doing it.
No, we're not. No, it's just, I mean, but we kind of want for people to be able to go to a convention and have something, and it's like that, because some stuff, I mean, you might not be really into all the paranormal stuff. So I mean, if you have some of the other stuff too, sometimes, because I know like there's people that come and they're like, oh, that's kind of interesting. Is there something that's kind of like crystal? Some of the crystals we have, they're not like crystals that you normally see. I mean, you see them, but they're not as readily where you just can pick them up and go. But now with like doing the kits and the boxes, and now I have actually baskets to do more of the natural things with the with sage and
because we actually like that religious kit that we sold. Like we actually put some money into that. Like we didn't buy cheap things to put in it. We put a few bucks in that, and that thing that sold like within the first hour or two.
Yeah, it was sold. And it was pretty.
I don't want to say it was high priced, but it was the highest priced item we had.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And it sold really, really quick. So I mean, we're not trying to sell people crap either.
No. And I mean, we want it to be practical, reasonable, and not outrageously priced, because I that's one thing that kind of bothers me when you go to conventions, that everything is so highly priced. Once you buy that ticket, sometimes you can't afford to buy that little extra. So, and then of course we'll always have our Boo Production stickers.
Yep.
Those, and I might even make it where we will have a couple shirts that I have made up, and then if you want to order them, you would be able to order them.
Yeah.
So, because I'm not gonna make a bunch of them up.
We don't need to waste a bunch of money on t-shirts.
No, I'd rather put our money elsewhere, and then just easily I can order those shirts easily to get those done. So that will be something that we will do. It will just be a couple that will be on display, and then if you want them, I can order. I will made to order.
So, all right, well, let's wrap it up. Remember, everybody, grab your salt guns. It's the hottest paranormal tool in 2024.
Sadly.
So be sure to get those. Maybe a holy water super soaker. And we will catch you all very, very soon. Thanks for watching.
Bye.